We're really just trying to focus on having a good week of practice and then getting out and, competing the best we can every weekend. And, we start midweek games too this week, so that'll be another challenge for us to tackle. Instead of just playing 3 games on the weekend, we'll be playing 3 on the weekend, 2 during the week, another 3 on the weekend. So, there's always a new challenge to be had as the season progresses.
What's your reaction to being ranked for the first time since 2001? I don't know if you that's
I didn't know that either. So, it's incredible. I think it's a great sign to all the hard work and, all the talent that we have on our team. But, until you're ranked number 1 at the end of the season, I don't think we're not really satisfied with that. So, but, it's impressive.
You guys knew you were going to be pretty good, and I think people around baseball knew that this was going to be a team that was going to be pretty good this year, but still, to get the chance to go into the tournaments that you played so far and show some of the better teams in the nation how good you could be. Was that kind of a motivator there to go out and maybe, show some people how good this program really was?
Absolutely. We've kind of had a motto, and we call ourselves the Dream Team. Obviously a reference, I think, to the 1992 Olympic basketball team. And by no means do we think we're that good, but at the same time, yeah, we have a sense of confidence that we carry about ourselves on the field, especially with the Northern team going down and playing in some of the tournaments that we have played in. You kind of have to have that little bit of a chip on your shoulder to go out and prove to some of these other teams that in the SEC and the ACC and different conferences that you belong on the same field with them. Not only that, but you can also beat them too on any given day. So yeah, it's everything that we've done is pretty impressive, but at the same time, the season only gets harder as it progresses. So
do you think it's surprising some of the Southern teams that you're being so successful against some of the Northern school, or?
I don't know. Perhaps, but at the same time too, I think they might fall back and say, well, they haven't played us in a 3-game set like we do in the Big Ten. We understand that that's ultimately where you can tell the best, where the best teams prevail. That's why in the postseason tournament, it's not a single elimination tournament. It's best of 3 kind of series, or twice defeated then you're out kind of thing. That's what they do in the Big Ten. So, like I've been saying, I think at the times it might be surprising to them, but at the same time, it isn't surprising us, and I think we only have some more people to surprise as the season goes along. So.
The bats have obviously been breaking kind of what you probably expected early on. But what's it like to pitch behind an offense like that?
It's very reassuring to know that I think at times our pitching staff's been criticized for a lack of statistical greatness compared to our offense. But for us as a staff, we go out thinking we just have to give up 1 less run than we score. And with having an offense that's as prolific as it is that we have, it's very reassuring, and it helps kind of ease your mind if you go out and you have a bad inning. Hey, we can get that back. A perfect example would be the Southern Miss game. We get out, we get to a deficit. I think it was 9-3. We're getting into the later innings, but at no time did we ever lose patience or think that we were out of that game, because we always know that our offense can get us right back into it. So it's nice to have.
Start for the team.
Yeah, it's good to start off hot. We're playing pretty good right now. Our confidence is pretty high and stuff right now, but we're trying to just keep it consistent, keep things rolling throughout the whole year, because it's in the end it's not about where you start, it's where you finish. So it's kind of where we're at right now.
All right, how have you guys been able to stay so consistent over each weekend so far? Win 2 out of 3 or 3 out of 3 each weekend.
We really just take it one game at a time. We don't look ahead a couple weeks to the next weekend. We just that game, we're in that game, and we take it one pitch at a time, one play at a time, and that's kind of how consistency comes about, I guess.
You guys knew you were going to be pretty good. This has been building for a couple of years, but I think sometimes those Southern teams, there's a bit of a wall there between the Southern and North. I don't know how much respect they give the Northern teams. So was that a motivation early this year to go down there and show some of these teams how good you guys are?
Yeah, it's always good to beat a team from the South. Sometimes, like you said, we don't really get the respect up north that they do down south, so it always feels good to go down there and get wins. But in the end, you want to win every ball game, and every game is just another game. So.
Do you think it's surprising to some of the Southern teams how well you guys are doing against them, or do you not think about that?
We don't really think about it, but I'm sure it is kind of surprising to them. Like I said, a lot of teams from the North don't get really any respect or hype before the year, so it's good to go down there and kind of gain some of that respect this year with some of the wins we've been getting. So
you would think sometimes maybe the bats would be the slow thing to get started at the beginning of the year, but you guys have been pretty keyed in right from the beginning, and you knew you had a pretty good lineup. But has that surprised you at all, the way you guys have just really up and down the lineup? Seems like everybody's right there to start the year.
It's not too big of a shock. You know, we have our experienced group coming back from last year, and we know what we're capable of doing. And you know, I knew we were going to bring it every game, and hopefully we can continue to do that. We have a great group of guys, like you said, 1 through 9. So we're just looking to keep this thing rolling.
When you got a couple guys at the top that are getting on base a lot, getting this thing started, right?
Yeah, you know, we're just trying to do our job, getting on base for our big RBI guys. You know, Perkins, Boykin, and Serrato follow us up, which, you know, it kind of makes me and Charles' job easy with those guys following us up in order. So, you know, 1 through 9, we're pretty relentless. So we're all just trying to do our part.
I think it's what we expected. You know, we're doing well. We're just playing our baseball, and that's kind of all we can ask for right now. That's kind of what we expected to happen, and we're just going to keep rolling.
I know you guys had high expectations for how good this team could be, and you've seen this building for a couple of years. You guys knew you were going to be pretty good. Did it mean something to go down and show this other teams over the last couple of weeks just how good you guys are?
I mean, it doesn't really matter to us.
That doesn't. It sounds like what you're saying is it doesn't really matter, but
it doesn't really matter. But I mean, it's nice to win. It's who we were playing, so we were glad to win. That's pretty much how we're looking at it. We're just looking forward to Big Ten coming up. We get spring break. We're just going to take care of business there, and we're just going to keep rolling. Let's see what we can do.
when you start like showing up in the national rankings and stuff like that, is it do you look at it as a positive thing? Do you try to ignore it?
It's a positive thing, but we don't really, you know, again, it's not really in our train of thought. You know, we want to continue to play, and that's it. You know, it's early in the season. We know those things will come and go. It really doesn't matter either way.
What's been the key for you guys, I think, to scoring all the runs and having the great offense you guys have had so far at the top of the order and just getting off to such a great start?
I mean, it's a little bit of everything. You know, we got 1 through 9. We have pretty there. However we want, we're still going to score that amount of runs. We don't panic when we're down. We stick to our plan, and that's, we know eventually it's going to work out. So that's pretty much what we do.
All right.
You and Spillner get off to such a great start at the top of the lineup. I mean, I know that you guys, that's your job, is to sort of get on base and set the table for these big guys behind you. But it seems like really it's 1 through 9 that everybody's clicking right now.
Yeah, definitely 1 through 9. It's not just me and Spill. It just happens to be that way right now. But you know, you got Talbot and Miller and Dixon at the bottom of the lineup that are making it easy for us, where we don't have to get a hit every time we're up. We can do it, you know, do a small job and get something done. So.